I'd say the beginning is deciding to host the party. So I lived in this apartment with Lainey over the summer because I was doing research, and we were about to both move out, and it was kind of sad because we'd had a great summer. So we decided to throw like one last big party. It's gonna be Christmas and July themed. We liked the idea of throwing themed parties. I don't know, we thought it was fun to like decorate the apartment and like make people wear costumes. We made this punch that was like, I don't know, I don't think it was themed. I think we maybe just decided to do something red.
So Saturday, the plan is we're gonna go to the party, and I'm kicking it with my friends, Tim, Miles, and Miles' friend Ansel or Anson, I don't remember. It's whichever the name of the actor from Baby Driver is, his name is the other one, because we purposefully mixed his name up as a joke. But yeah, the four of us were kicking it. I took some pulls from a handle of vodka, and I did a good job. After the pregame, we walked to the party. Either Anson or Ansel. Miles' friend. Either Anson or Ansel. After the pregame, we walked to the party. This is too far. Either bar, which one of the bar.
The party started kind of slow because nobody likes to be the first person to arrive. So it was mostly just Lainey and I hanging out. And then, there's a slow trickle of people like an hour in, and then before you know it, the entire apartment is packed. I was mostly just like trying to be an amicable host and like walk around and chat to people, and, like introduce myself to people I didn't know, and like, all that, make sure everyone was having a good time.
Well, there were a lot of people there. Lots of drinks, good time. People were having a good time. I got 2 numbers that night. Not going to name the other person, for confidentiality purposes. Other one was Haley, and I used my patent method, which isn't. I don't ask for their number. I say, do you have my number? So then if they want to text me, they can, but if they don't want to, they don't have to. Haley was one of the people who I gave my number to, and she texted me and said something like, "It's Haley," and then a smiley face, which was good sign. We talked about Spider-Man, which is always exciting.
Would you say memorable?
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about it now, like months later, so clearly, Spider-Man runs pretty deep. Hold on a second. He's a little worn down, but you can see on my keychain I got a little Lego Spider-Man.
Close.
Do you remember having any sort of conversations with Matthew LaBar about Spider-Man?
No. That's a definitive no.
Well, she came up to me and she said, "Hey, I saw you at Spider-Man. The movie Spider-Man: Homecoming. Great movie. I love Tom Holland in it. I really liked the part in the car where the Vulture has the gun." That's a little beside the point, but I think that's important because I'm pretty sure we talked about that.
Do you remember seeing Matthew LaBar at the premiere of Spider-Man: Homecoming?
No. I don't. Yeah, no. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Next question.
So you guys had this tie via the Spider-Man thing, right?
I'd say so. We were talking about Spider-Man. I mean, what more do you need to say?
Okay, so at some point in the party, I don't know, I don't really remember specific interactions, but the one thing that I really remember is playing chess with LaBar. I had never played chess before, and so I had to have somebody explain the rules to me real quick right beforehand, and I still beat him, which I thought was really funny.
Apparently, Haley and I played chess, which sounds vaguely familiar. I think I didn't want to do it, and somebody kind of convinced me to do it, and then I lost like really, really quickly, which is embarrassing because apparently she didn't know the rules before. If this is a real memory, my memory is that she beat me really, really quickly, like in less than 5 minutes, I'm pretty sure. Man, I suck at chess, which was what I thought already, which is probably why I didn't want to play, because I thought I would lose beforehand, which turned out to be right.
So that was like pretty much one of my only experiences with him, was beating him at chess my first time playing it.
Was it close?
I don't think so, no.
After chess, well, a lot transpires, you know, the whole party happens basically. And at some point it ends up, it's just me, her, and Lisette on the counter. Lisette leaves, and as she's leaving, she looks at me and winks. And even for how dumb I was at that point, that was fairly striking.
I mean, it's probably a little awkward. I don't remember like feeling awkward, but I think it's pretty clear when like somebody leaves two people alone at a party, like it's like pretty obvious.
And then glass number one was another fairly striking moment, because what I did was, I don't remember whether I did this because I thought it would be more comfortable or because I thought it would look cool. I accidentally push something off the ledge that was made of glass and it shatters. And I'd say something like, oh, sorry about that. And she's like, don't worry about it. Which was another good sign to me.
Do you remember Matthew breaking any sort of glassware?
Not in any situation in which I was involved.
Kind of like movie tension, you know, they'll kind of like do a little, and then they'll jump up a little, and then the big scare comes. That was like the little jump up before the big scare, I would say. There's really only, I would say, like max 5 minutes of events that happen after that, and I think that's pretty generous. My estimate would be about 2. As after Lisette leaves, Haley and I are talking. It's just the two of us. I think we talked about her dad or something. I knocked the glass over, and then, you know, I kind of purposely like drop my half of the conversation, and the conversation ends, and, you know, that's, you know how it goes. Maybe.
I don't know, like I think we had pretty easy conversation. Like I don't really remember like feeling that awkward or like, I don't know, I think it was just a pretty like average casual conversation. We're just chatting.
Blah blah blah. You know, that's me. Blah blah blah. That's her. You know, just shooting the shit. You know, me over here. I think I'd better stop yapping. She finishes what she has to say, and we kind of look at each other for a second, and then I go in, and then she goes in, and then it's happening.
I was definitely stationary, and he was the one that moved. So, just talking from a physical standpoint, initiated by Matthew for sure. I don't know, I think you'd have to be like pretty sure of yourself to initiate that. Like, I couldn't really say that I noticed that he was confident or not confident.
Hey, what's your dad do? His name is Andy. He's at Summit a lot. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it is. Okay, so the thing is, I move first, but once I start moving, she starts moving a little faster than I was moving. Does that make sense?
Wow, wow, wow. What's your dad's name? His name is Andy.
So, start out here, start moving, and then... once I'm reminded of what happened, I think that sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't tell that that's a genuine memory or not. And what I'm told happened is that I departed too eagerly from my stool when I stood up, and in my kind of adventurous action, I knocked the stool over and it hit her foot.
Yeah, like all I remember is like conversation, lull in the conversation, stool falling on my foot. It was mostly like I woke up, got out of bed, stood up, pain. that's how I would describe it. And when I looked down and my foot was huge and purple, as previously stated. My initial thought was like, what happened to my foot? And then like I instantly was like, oh yeah, LeBar dropped a stool on it.
Pretty big and unpleasant surprise, because I would say usually when you walk away from like a makeout session, you think like, worst case scenario, I haven't seriously injured that person, their foot is fine, they can definitely walk fine, and kind of all of those expectations were upended for me, which is surprising to say the least.
Oh man, I would have felt awful. I don't know, like, he seems like a nice guy. Like, I feel like he probably was pretty upset that he hurt someone. Like, I just know me personally, if I found out that I'd almost broken someone's foot, I would be devastated. Like, I just feel so guilty.
Will I apologize for being too passionate of a kisser? And the answer is no. Will I apologize for dropping a stool on her foot? Yes, profusely and repeatedly. And I just want to make that clear about that series of events.
I thought the whole thing was really funny. Like the fact that like my foot was so injured and so humongous and purple for such a ridiculous reason. So yeah, the next morning when I woke up and it was like huge and purple, I definitely like took pictures and sent this to my friends and was like, LOL, look at my foot. A boy at a party dropped a stool on it.
Haven't talked to her much since the incident, but when I saw her here tonight, I said, sorry about dropping the stool on your foot.
But yeah, I don't know. He apologized, and it's really not that big of a deal. It did not bother me that much at all, so he shouldn't feel bad. I was at the doctor for something else actually, and I just like in the meantime was like, oh, also, I think my foot might be broken. And they're like, oh, well, we can do an X-ray, and then it was not broken. They told me it was almost broken, but missed it a little.
So you're saying a stronger man would have broken it?
I'm not gonna say that at all. Yeah.